Alright, hey YouTube, what's going on? This is ECG and welcome back to another video. So as you all know, the season's gonna be ending in a couple of hours of recording actually, and we are actually getting closer to leaving the OG map and heading towards chapter 5. So in today's video, I want to reflect on what happened in each season and share my thoughts about them. So let's get right to it. So starting off with season 5, all I have to say about it is that it was pretty good. I posted a video of me showcasing my first win on my first game, and I was still grateful that I actually even was able to do that, surprisingly. I genuinely didn't think that I would be playing in the Chapter 1 Season 5 map at all, because I personally started playing in Chapter 1 Season 7. And I wasn't able to play around the OG Loot Lake back then, and now that I actually have, I can understand why people don't like walking in the water, because it is so slow and you can easily get shot at just from anywhere. Anyways, I did enjoy my experience being able to find legendary weapons, because they tried to make it feel like they're very hard to find and to get, especially like the gold scar. And yeah, it was definitely very rewarding when you actually like find one or eliminate someone carrying it. So yeah. Also, I actually liked how the bots made me feel like I never left the game at all. And I'm glad for that until like endgame, where all the actual players are still alive and are like 10 times better than me. I also like that the loot pool was very simple, because simple is just perfection for me. I mean, there's nothing really to complain about the weapons in the season here. And to be honest, I don't really have anything negative about this season, so yeah. So in season 6, they actually added the Loot Lake Island back. They actually also brought back the double barrel, clingers, 6-shooter, ice traps, portal fortress, turrets, quad crashers, driftboards, and etc. A lot of stuff, I may say. I think the stuff on Balta here were alright. None of them really stood out for me that I really like using, except for the driftboards though. I think it kind of sucks that the Kevin the Cube is not like the original where you can bounce off it, which I was really looking forward to it, but oh well, I guess. And another thing I thought was weird was that they added the driftboards this season when it was released in season 7 when I started, but I also moved on from it too. Also, another thing I wanted them to add were actually the shadow cubes, which actually came out in season 6, where you can turn yourself into a ghost and like go through walls. That would have been interesting for me, because that is what I think of when thinking of chapter 1 season 6. Other than that, I think the season was alright and definitely could have been better, but you just have to work with what you got. Okay, compare the current map to the map of season 7 and 8. They only added one POI and mini pirate bases and called it season 7 and 8. I was kind of disappointed about this, because I started playing this game in season 7 and this is what they have in store for this. And I mean I understand that they want to keep the original map as it is, with like the no frozen greasy grove and no volcano up northeast, but it just doesn't feel like season 7 or 8 for me. Like, if you ask me what stood out for me from each season, I would probably say the Polar Peak Castle for season 7 and Lazy Lagoon, or the volcano, I forgot the name, if the volcano had a name, for season 8. Anyways, also in this season, they added the Flintlock, minigun, quad clasher, well, not quad clasher, quad launcher, poison traps, glider redeploy, treasure maps, planes, cannons, and etc. I think out of all the items here, the treasure maps really gave me season 8 vibes every time I got one, but they just had to make them much harder to find. Like, I think a day later the season 7/8 update came, but yeah. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but I still don't like how they added fuel to like all the vehicles, like the planes. Like, I get that planes are broken back then, but players have gotten better over the years, and the only people who use planes are just people who are just having fun with them, I guess. Overall, I think the season is also fine, but I still can't get over the fact that they are calling it season 7 and 8 when they only added one POI to them. Okay, so the only thing they added to the map is the meteor, which, just like Season 7 and 8, is the only POI that counts for the season. I mean, it doesn't even have its own name, it's literally the meteor. Other things they were added were the jump shotgun, infantry rifle, jetpack, splashes, supply zones, ballers, etc. So not bad for the things that were involved for the season. Anyways, why does the baller have fuel as well? I mean, I mentioned this earlier that I really don't like how vehicles have fuel, but that is just not very Season 9/X like. I think this is the point where I'm actually quite tired of the merge seasons because they genuinely don't feel like them at all, in my opinion. Like, why couldn't Fortnite just extend the seasons for another half a month so each season can have their own week to be able to play in? Because these merge seasons are not it for me, I think. This is probably an unpopular opinion because I think at this point of these seasons, people don't like them as much as the older seasons, which is why they are merged in the first place. But I still think they should have been able to have their own week to be able to share themselves as the season, because we're talking about Fortnite OG, so I guess I see why they tried just merging the seasons instead, because it's not really as popular as like the older ones, just like I mentioned earlier. But that's just like my thoughts about that map. So moving on from the maps, the unvaulted items are actually fun to use. I mean, I like the hotspots where I can shoot the drones and just get good loot out of them. And I think the unvaulted seasons, or not unvaulted season, unvaulted items carried this season for me. I think Fortnite had a strong start for the first 2 weeks of OG Fortnite, and got less and less fun for me throughout time. Other than the maps not feeling like their OG replica, I think a part of the reason why I'm not enjoying it as much is probably because the nostalgia was fading away from me. I still think that if you want to enjoy Fortnite to the max, you have to play with friends, and I think that is what made me still enjoy this season. I do play some solo sometimes, but they're not as fun as being with your friend group, I guess. And overall, this was a good time down memory lane, and I'm quite honored to be able to play in this Fortnite OG map again. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.